him also is the tough strength that has never been fully measured, never unleashed. The resilience of
What's happening, guys, and welcome back to the Social Work Race. This is the platform for you if you want to, as a student or as a newly qualified or ASYE, whichever of those, you are my priority. And if you want to grow and learn, this is, in my opinion, one of the best places to do that. Now, look, there's a lot of guys out there, and I think there's an increase of social workers in different fields with lots of different skills, years of experience, and those who are even students who are now getting their content out there to support each other. And that was the plan for me, which was to create this platform for you to learn and grow. But also, we're working with all frontline staff, anyone with frontline experience. But it's been interesting because my most recent live on Instagram, if you go to my Instagram channel, you will see it's a live with Jasnev, who is a friend of mine, but I also knew that she grew up in care, and she has been really frank about her care story. So guys, I'm here not only for social workers, but frontline workers and those who have lived experience of care. Listen, it's deep. And I'm loving this channel more and more, literally every day, trying to come up with new ways and ideas to just make social work work. Do you know what? There's many facets to this. Let me go there. Social work must be brought to the people because social work is such a hated vocation in this country. We have the highest mortality rates and we are hated by the people. So we are always on our back foot. And half of my work, and literally today, I spent so many hours trying to convince parents to work with me. In fact, it's not just today, the last 2 days, I've spent many hours trying to get parents to just trust me. That's what social workers are going through. But if I can speak to you all about my experience, hopefully it will trigger for this to be a platform for our voice as frontline and social workers. You understand? Welcome to the channel. Let's get into the topic. No edits. If I cough or if any of my kids come in the room, this is what it's going to be. This is the social work race, as raw as it gets. Today, I wanted to talk about what's missing from social work degrees or social work courses. I think I'm actually wondering if social work courses are deficient because we're trying to get the academic work done and we're trying to get people through placement. And logically, we could suppose that doing the practical and the theory are covering the bases for social work, right? And I question that. I'm thinking maybe there's something missing. In fact, I'm convinced there's something missing from social work training. Whether it be I'm going to sneeze in a minute, whether it be whether it be a degree, whether it be a master's or a step-up program, you might be in placement, but I'm wondering if that's enough. Now, for those of us who have got experience of frontline work, we may not need this so much. But I am convinced that, especially for those who are just coming out of uni or haven't really done much in this field, I'm wondering if there's something more. In fact, I'm actually using the wrong term, wondering. I'm convinced that there's more that we need to get students through, because what happens is they become shell-shocked and leave soon after they qualify. And I think that if we get in it earlier and do this, and this is my thing, okay? I think that the power of narrative is missing. And narrative is the thing that I use to sell the social work race to you. Narrative is what brings people into your space, your personal story, your personal life. This is why I don't spend a lot of time with aesthetics when I'm presenting my stuff. Look at my TikTok, look at my Instagram, look at my YouTube. I keep it quite raw because raw is what the world wants to see. We know this, the marketing experts, some of them were telling us that, in fact, this really good TikToker was talking about, Instagrammer was talking about if you make your social media videos too aesthetic, you will lose an audience and they can damage your not reputation, but your flow, your reach, because people want authentic video. That's why portrait videos are more popular now, have been for quite some time. And people are not, well, they might use the odd filter, but the videos are raw. If you go on TikTok and Instagram, well, more so TikTok, which is a really, really, really popular social media platform, it's raw. People just want to see you as you are. So I said, well, I'm going to go out in that vein because I like that anyway. I'm out here talking about social work as it happens, as it has happened. Even using social work as a lens to analyze ethics and social issues. I'm talking about the power of narrative. When I when I have my live sessions, I just tell the guests to just be themselves. I think that if we were to have more conversations with students in universities, we would help prepare them for what it is on the front line. My most recent post was about my day. My last 2 days have been hectic. And I wasn't not prepared for it, but I didn't expect it. I did not expect to have the last couple of days where my workload has kind of doubled as it unfolds. What does that feel like? And what is the impact of that on my life? How am I managing it? And I think students need to hear that. The power of narrative is such that it's actually a theory, narrative theory. We use this to convey a message of reality that people can stay in touch with. Social work is an extremely complex vocation. It's complex because we are looking at all facets of humanity and working with the system and pulling it together in its relevance to that family. Not to mention that we have to navigate the adversity, the hours, the emotional and mental health implications of this job. Because we are dealing with everybody's problems. We have to process that with evidence. It's a lot. And then we have to do an immense amount of paperwork. And it can be complex, not only in the work, but complex in our minds and the impact it has on our bodies. And I don't think too many are prepared for that. But if we had someone talking to us along the way, coaching, we would do a lot better. I think that questions and answers, I did a question and answer session with Susie. You'll see it. It's a couple posts down if you get it now on my Instagram page. I do my live sessions on Instagram, although my next one will be on TikTok. It might be the only one because that's where the person I'm going to host really sits in the social media. And this person just had a Q&A with me, and they asked me random questions from religion to money to what got me into it. And it's a down-to-earth expose on what it is to be a social worker. I remember when I was studying a few years back, and the most impressive, and I say impressive meaning the sessions or the lectures that had the most impression on me were those when those who had gone before me had spoken or had taken a session. We had a great number of questions that there was not enough time to be answering them. Even looking for answers from the students from the year above. Do you know what I mean? Narrative. Narrative is necessary. How do you deal with adversity, racism, discrimination, prejudice? How do you deal with obstinance and abuse, verbal abuse? How do you deal with time management? That was one of my big ones. How do you deal with these things in reality? This is the work that needs to be done in universities. Q&A is essential. Yeah, we want to follow the blaze that has been left in the trail of those who have gone before who have gone before us. And I think that is one of the most essential parts of training social workers in universities right now. For those of us in particular who don't have all of those years of experience, that is the hard way. You'll need this. When I do my lives, people are asking questions. And I'm like, I hear what you need. And I'm encouraging universities, course leaders to grab hold of us and pull us into the universities and get us to share our experiences. That's what I want to do. I'm telling you what part of my plan is to help social workers get ready for the work. It's a beautiful work. It's beautifully tough. It's beautifully complex. But because I have all those years before social work, I have the resilience to just push on. I'm not about to change careers right now. But I also recognize and feel in my body, and I felt at times, why I want to walk away. Nobody was there to kind of lead me or guide me before, but I had a couple of trailblazers who I would look up to, not having many conversations, but a couple of trailblazers or forerunners in the game that I looked up to. But if you don't have that, it's a struggle. I don't want to keep repeating myself, I really want to help social work right now. And I'm so intentional about helping people maintain, not just in social work, but not just social work, but also on the front line of it all, to maintain their course. You're in a great job. Let's show you how to make the most of it. And I say that to you as someone who finds it really tough. But because I have a sense of purpose in this, I'm going to keep going. Listen, that's the end of my episode. If you want to see more, if you want to get into discussions, if you want to join me on a live, let me know. Visit me on the Social Work Race on most platforms out there, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. I'm on Twitter-ish. Get me on those on all podcasting platforms. Get me on those platforms, and I tell you what, contact me and let me know what you think about this particular episode. I'm really interested to know. If you want to email me, you can DM me on any platform, but if you want to email me, get me on the socialworkrace@gmail.com. And on that note, what time is it? 9 o'clock at night. Take care of yourselves.